Welcome back to another video where we will try to make you a better negotiator. Today we will touch on a subject which is crucial to more or less any negotiation that you're in and could make or break your next deal. For some people, a negotiation is a loaded word that creates a lot of negative emotions and feelings. And when you're entering a negotiation, and especially if it's a structured one, you might feel anxious or nervous, and your hand starts to sweat and your heart begins to beat faster and faster. Most likely, that's because the outcome of the negotiation is uncertain, and that scares the shit out of you. At the same time, you might have a boss or an organization behind you who demands and put pressure on you to bring home the best deal possible. So you might feel the pressure from them as well. So, how do we calm our nerves? How do we enter a negotiation feeling confident and feeling relaxed? Because that's the feeling that we're after. One crucial thing in order for us to achieve that is to know when to walk away. To know when to walk away from a negotiation without a deal is probably the hardest thing you can ever do in a negotiation, but it's a crucial one. I strongly believe that 90% of the cases we would actually in fact be able to negotiate a deal, but we also need to be open to the fact that that's not always the case. Sometimes it's better to walk away, but to walk away, it's often really hard. To help us know when to walk away, we can look at a core concept within the theory of negotiation. It's called the BATNA, or the best alternative to negotiated agreement. This is like the negotiation 101, foundation of negotiation, but it's super important, especially if you know how to make it work in your favor. A BATNA is more or less exactly what it sounds like. If we don't get a deal now, what's our best alternative? The value of our best alternative, that's our walkaway point. It's very easy to establish. A strong BATNA could be if you have another job offer when you're entering a salary negotiation with your current employer. A weak BATNA could be if you're a supplier or a subcontractor who is dependent to make this deal. Otherwise, you will lose the business and you're more or less likely to go bankrupt. Identifying and knowing your BATNA is important, and it's often quite easy information to establish. However, what probably will be a game changer for your negotiation is if you're able to find out your counterpart's BATNA. The reason why it could be a game changer is because you will be able to find out if a deal is even possible and how valuable that deal could be for you. What you also will know is if it's even worth to pursuing the deal. I mean, what if your counterpart's BATNA would be impossible for you to meet? I mean, well, if you're not able to actually meet the best alternative to a negotiated agreement with your counterpart, well, then it's time to do the hardest thing in a negotiation. You stand up, you take on your jacket, and you walk out the door. You owe it to yourself to let it go and to pursue other things. Usually when you're being taught about BATNAs, first of all, you're being taught what the BATNA is, and you're being told to identify your BATNA because that's your walkaway point, and it will help you identify when you will walk away from the table. What most people don't realize is the BATNAs should be used in order for us to strengthen it. It should be a way for us to identify our weaknesses as well as our strength. The same goes for the counterpart's BATNAs. It's a way for us, if we are able to find out the BATNA for our counterpart, to identify, okay, what's their weakness, what's their strength, do we even have a deal on the table, or are they better off with, for example, another supplier or another deal? What we are also able to do is to identify maybe the ways that we can actually weaken the counterpart's BATNA. That's what we want to achieve. We want to strengthen our own BATNA and we want to weaken our counterpart's BATNAs. So we need to work like simultaneous tracks. Usually what I do with my clients when it comes to BATNAs is not only identifying and teach them about the ways to improve our BATNA, but also to identify our counterpart's BATNA and also put up strategies on how we can weaken their position in order for us to be in a more stronger position. Okay, so to summarize what we have learned in this video, there are 3 key lessons that I want you to take away. First of all, know your BATNA, identify your BATNA, and once you know it, improve it. Second of all, try to identify your counterpart's BATNA, and once you know it, weaken it. Third of all, don't be afraid to walk away if you have other options which are more attractive than the current deal that is being discussed. Guys, you owe it to yourself, trust me. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video if you did. Leave a comment on what you would like to see a video about, and visit my website if you're interested in how I can help you become a better negotiator, or how I can assist your organization in your negotiations. Guys, don't forget to bring it home.